Good evening and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV, your destination to discussions on politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. Tonight we delve into the recent report of alleged alliance or allegiance between the emerging terror group Lakurawa and the dreaded bandits terrorizing the northwestern states of Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, among others. The group recently killed 2 policemen and rustled 200 cattle in Kebbi, promoting calls from the locals on the federal government to rise up and eliminate the Lakurawa terror group, unleashing carnage in the affected states. And on the second leg of the conversation, we'll be taking a look at the growing kidnapping in Kogi State, where government recently kidnapped 9 students from the Confluence University, in addition to abduction of several motorists flying through the states. Of course, the suspension of mining activities also. We'll be analyzing measures being taken by the state authorities to battle the terrorists and secure the citizens and vast spaces rich in solid minerals. And to help us unpack this, we are joined by barrister Umar Kalgo, a lawyer and public affairs analyst who joins us virtually from Birnin Kebbi. And hopefully in the studio here, we are expecting the special advisor media to Kogi State Governor Ismaila Issa. Welcome to the program, Barrister Kalgo. I hope you are with us.
With you, Hamza, with you.
Right.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Barrister Kalgo. But before we commence the conversation, here are some major developments in the polity. A deadly explosion has gone off at a school located in an Abuja suburb, killing 1 student and injuring 4 others. Those familiar with the incident told our reporters. A security source said the incident occurred at about noon on Monday at an Islamia school in the Kuchibiu community of Buari Area Council, about 42 kilometers from the Abuja city. And another source said emergency and security personnel, including the police bomb disposal squad, have arrived at the explosion scene while the injured victims have been rushed to hospital. And closely here, the Niger state government has issued a warning on Monday to residents of certain communities in the state, urging them to avoid going to farms to prevent falling victims to improvised explosive devices planted by bandits. The reports indicate that bandits killed 13 farmers in the Alawa community of the Shiroro local government area of the state. The bandits were said to have tracked the farmers to their farms, killing them because they had provided intelligence on bandits' movements to security agencies. The State Commissioner for Homeland Security, Bello Abdullahi, issued the warning in Mina, the state capital, during the 2024 base socio-cultural activities at the 013 Quick Response Force, Nigeria Air Force in Mina. And finally, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has dismissed claims that the panel did not consult with Nigerian governors. The introduction of the bills by the Bola Tinubu-led government sparked widespread debates, especially in the north, with the Northern Governors Forum, the Northern Elders Forum, and others expressing strong opposition to the bill. The proposed legislation seeks to reform the country's tax collection and administration system, offering an opportunity to establish a more equitable and efficient taxation model. It includes the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, the Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Once again, Barrister Umar Kalgo, welcome to the program as we await the arrival of the Special Advisor Media to Kogi State Governor Ismaila Issa. Now, you have had 3 of our tidbits. I will start with the first one, the bombing in Abuja suburb. Can we say we are starting the year 2025 on a bad note, especially in the Federal Capital Territory?
The Abuja bombing is an unfortunate situation faced by the nation. It is very worrisome for a bomb blast to occur in a school. From the reports, the school is an Islamic school, and though the police are yet to issue, to the best of my knowledge, explanation as to the situation, But I think it is saddening when you look at the kind of mobilization by the Nigerian police, the bomb squad and what have you. But we cannot preempt what investigation will reveal. But our heart goes to the to the soul that was lost in the bomb blast. And it brings sad memories of bombings during the initial stages of 2015 when Boko Haram are trying to register their presence in the country with their wage of terror on the nation. We just hope that this is an incident, not just a sporadical incident, that the security operatives will rise up and deal with definitely and decisively, so that terror will not reign again in the lives of people, inhabitants of the capital of Nigeria. So really it is an unfortunate situation for the country.
Yes, thank you. And as you rightly said, our reporters, of course, are still there in Buhari trying to unravel it, because there are claims that that person that died was actually the suicide bomber. We are yet to establish this, and we are still probing the police to come up with information on this. And you also said this has reminded us of those sad days of the Boko Haram. But for a long time, Abuja, of course, as far as terrorism is concerned, it was a kind of immune in a greater way compared to Maiduguri, for instance, because I have a timeline here. For instance, the last one we witnessed in the FCT was on Friday, October 2nd, 2015, where 2 explosions carried by suicide bombers at Yanya and Kuje, another suburb, which left 18 people killed and 40 others wounded. Now, what can you say about this? Almost 2015 to this time, that is 9 or 10 years, yeah. Yes, 10 years. What is the import of this 10 years after bombing back in Abuja?
Yes, you see, we are yet to get the links, whether this is something that is attributed to the Boko Haram or any other terror organization, or even we just don't have the report from the police. I know that you said there are unconfirmed reports, which I think at this moment we should not venture to speculate. But I mean, 9 years, almost 10 years is a good time. So you see, the track record now is in a tremor, because such record should have been maintained. It would have been better for the country. So if you look at it from the larger perspective, you see the issue of Boko Haram, the last regime, before it came, the issue of this banditry is not there during the before the incoming of the Buhari regime. So they are all geared towards fighting the Boko Haram, which is what is known then. But as they mobilized to fight Boko Haram, then something sprung out from the northwest, which is banditry. So you can see that regime have done well in fighting Boko Haram. You can see the normalcy, though with recent situations, there is a great concern of a bit of resurgence of the Boko Haram or ISIS, because they are all ideologically driven, groups in insurgency, which you can all connect: Boko Haram, ISIS, SWAP, all. They have that kind of ideological basis, which is almost the same. You can see even the attack on the military facility in Borno is also worrisome. So I just want to say that a balance has to be striken as we try to contain the issues in the northwest. The northeast too should be checked out, so that these people does not regain more grounds. Because when you are looking at good news on the other side, when Governor Zulum is doing all he can to resettle and bring an end to these IDPs, but from now and then you hear some attacks. So I think largely we have mixed feelings with some good news, and these things are some wake-up calls. So we just hope that our military, I just want to see our military doing more in this issue of what we call public relations, so that the country will be taken all together. Because I do see some clips with the Nigerian troops, Nigerian army. They are very good in carrying out their societies to be behind the army. You see them even in their entertainment, their what, all are focused in carrying the people along with the army and to give all the support. So I would like to see that with the Nigerian army as well.
All right, and the benefit of hindsight, the first incident of bombing in Abuja was on October 1, 2010, during Nigeria's 50th independence celebration, when two vehicles exploded near the Eagle Square, leaving 12 people dead and 17 others injured. And then on June 16, 2011, there was a suicide bomber targeted the Nigeria Police Force headquarters, killing 2 people, including the bomber. And then on August 26, 2011, a suicide bomber struck at the United Nations building in Abuja, leaving 21 people dead and many others injured. And then 35 persons were reportedly killed and many others in the Christmas Day bombing of St. Teresa's Church at Madalla, also Niger State, of course, very close to Abuja. And then in the early hours of April 1, 2014, 2 bombs exploded at a crowded bus station at Yanya in Abuja, leaving 88 persons dead and about 200 others injured. That day coincided with the abduction of 264 or 67 girls from Chibok in Borno State. Also at Yanya, there was a car bomb explosion on May 1, 2014, which resulted in the killing of 19 persons. About 60 people were also said to have been injured. And the final one was the one I mentioned to you, Barrister, which was on October 2, 2015. Now, seven explosions in the Federal Capital Territory within a span of how many years? From 2010 to 2025. That's 15 years. What message for the leaders in Nigeria? If the Federal Capital Territory cannot be said, what about Birnin Kebbi, where you live, or those in Maiduguri, or those in Abakaliki?
The issue of security is a paramount to every government, and I think one need not to remind, but it is essentially the most basic of all the rights that citizens should enjoy, and every government will boast of providing. Though you have gone back to list this, when you are listing them, I can feel the pain, because those times are times that we have witnessed. But the issue is we can see that by and large, from that 2010 to 2015 is when all these things have happened, because even the last one recounted is about 9 years ago. Yeah. So all I can say is it calls for the government to, reassess, because having this 9 years of quiet in Abuja it should be something that should have counted as gain. But with this happening now, so we need to look at this quite 9 years that we have. How have we been doing? And the last year too should be taken, should be revised seriously. We know that the security apparatus in Nigeria are very strained when you look at what we have in the northwest, northeast, and what have you. But Abuja is of a particular, point of reference. I can tell you whatever happened in Abuja will send ripples globally to the standard and scaling of this country. So I would charge all our security, especially intelligence, that Abuja should be a very special place because whatever would happen within Abuja will send a dint. So we will want to raise, our heads with the successes we are doing. We wouldn't want to have things that will set us aback. So I think it's a wake-up call too to how everything pertaining to Abuja, even the hints, the peripheral to the central part of Abuja should be very, very taken care of as if the main central business district too are being taken care of. I think Abuja, the capital city, is always symbolic. So I think these are things that the take for the government with such a situation, and I think this is just the wake-up call.
All right, before we move to the main topic of discussion, I want you to say something on the warning by the Niger State Commissioner for Homeland Security, Bella Abdullahi, telling farmers to really run away from their farms because they will be picked by bandits and terrorists. The more you look at the security complexity in Nigeria, the less you understand. I don't really understand. I don't know whether you can make sense out of this now. Farmers, some it is now that they are harvesting their crops. Now, message from the state government, not from the bandits, that look, don't go so that you'll not be picked.
The issue of Niger State. You see, in Niger State, there is something that is unprecedented regarding the issue of threat to security and the insecurity menace in Nigeria, which is the roadside bombs that have killed people. And I have seen this morning, I heard from the news that not just the commissioner, the governor too is raising issues pertaining to issue of this improvised devices, or you can even say landmines. These are things that are put under the earth, and once you step on them, they explode. Yes, so I think what I understand from the warnings is that there is a hello.
Yeah,
There's a
go ahead. Yes.
there's a strong fear that some parts of those areas identified by the Niger State government, it is feared that there are these landmines, these explosives. So it would create great damage. These landmines are nasty weaponry that even the world is trying to get rid of them holistically, that there are a lot of treaties not allowing their usage. So now, though I cannot say whether they are using the real landmine bombs or they are using improvised devices, but whatever, the effect is like the same. And these things, they maimed people and what have you. So they are just very cautious to the people because, health is wealth. It's better than this thing. So it's not an unwelcome situation, but the health and life of people matter most than even the food that is there. So I would say it's a situation that the Niger State is calling on the security, the Nigerian army, to do all it can to, demand or secure those places to safety so that the farmers can go on with their own activities as usual. So it's just that when the security is adequate for the farming, then people can go back to their farm. So I think it's a concern that led to the government warning those farmers not to go to their farms until and unless that such places are safe for conduct of their normal farming activities.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister. Now back to the main topic. Lakurawa, merger with bandits, or is it alliance with bandits? Have you heard about this new challenge to the insecurity, especially around Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara and to some extent even Katsina State?
Well, you see, this kind of issues are not easy. They are not confirmable. It's very easy to confirm such things, but really, what is so, unequivocally known prior to this time is that the Lakurawas are arch enemies of the bandits in times before, we know, because you will find that places where the bandits are devastated, when Lakurawa come in, they now like chase out those bandits. And I think when you look at it, it will be very difficult because the Lakurawa are like just another Boko Haram. They are faith driven armed groups. They are operating like ISIS, imposing their own understanding of what they call the Sharia state, Islamic state, or what have you. So it will be very difficult to find such a merger unless if now some bandits are now recruiting, buying their ideology to join them. But you always find that they are very, very, they hardly accommodate people like bandits who are just doing it for the worldly gains or some other callings. So you can find out even in Borno when you look, you will see that when Shikau is having problem with ISIS and what have you, just because of some, difference in ideological beliefs. So I cannot confirm whether really this, but it will seriously surprise me because all the indications that you can see, you hardly find such dogged, ideologically driven armed groups, forming synergy with just pure bandits. But I think if the bandits are taking heat from our armed forces and at the same time taking heat from the Lakurawas, because the Lakurawas have even, wherever you find them, they have more weaponry power than the bandits, and they used to chase the bandits. Maybe if they find themselves in such a fix, maybe it's easier for them to join the recruit and be recruited into the Lakurawas. That is what I can foresee happening. But just open merger will be very, very difficult when you look at the way these groups operates.
Okay, now, what we had was that maybe allegiance. Don't you think maybe the bandits, because of the superior power of the Nigerian troops, maybe they will say, okay, since this Lakurawa, they have the wherewithal to maybe for some time withstand the onslaught by the Nigerian forces, even if it is temporary, to say, okay, we are paying allegiance to you. Can you preclude something like this?
Well, that's what I painted. It can be possible because, look, even the banditry, they try, like Bello Turji, if you look at, they are all groping from right to left to find some justification. At times, they would like to show themselves as freedom fighters. And at times, Bello Turji had been organizing, religious events, forcing people to come and watch those, participate in such religious organization. I know it is well in the news that at one point, Bello Turji have organized what we call a Maulud gathering. And he even forced people who ideologically don't believe in that Maulud to attend. So you can see it can be possible because of they find themselves in a fix. It is possible the Lakurawa, could have advantage of recruiting them, but I know is not something that will be easily done, really.
Okay, finally on this, what do you have to say on the claim by the Nigerian forces and even political leaders that it is a matter of days that they will crush the Lakurawa? Should we take this claim to the bank?
Um, uh, we have no, I mean, the only shoulder we have to, I mean, to hold and to stand on are of our troops. So we will only hope that these assurances they are giving us will come to fruition, but will not be mindless of what we are seeing unraveling and causing causing the citizens to sometime lost hope. I think the people in the dungeon of these areas where have been ravaged by this insecurity, you can hear their calls day in, day out. I hope those calls will ring bell in our security and Nigerian army that the only shoulder the Nigerians have is the Nigerian army. And these are the only forces we rely upon to see that this war is won. So on this note, I would, what I said earlier, I would like the Nigerian army to bring that kind of, all in one encompassing onslaught. The weapon, force wise, psychological wise, and even from the media. The example I gave of Niger, when you look at their musicians, they are gingering their army, they are doing this, they are movies, they are what? But I want the Nigerian army to look at that way so that I know the Nigerian army can only do this when it has that confidence of the citizen, a boost of morale. So I hope that the Nigerian army will give us reason to have this kind of holistic onslaught. All the minds, the nation should be targeting these successes that we envisage to have. So I will just say that we hope that this time the Nigerian army are giving us a promise to stand on.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Umar Kalgo, a lawyer and public affairs analyst, for joining us virtually from Birnin Kebbi. Thank you. We hope to have you some other time.
Thank you. My pleasure.